What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be looking at the new 2026 Championship Series information. If you are a Pokemon competitive player, this is everything you're going to want to know about the new season, the changes, what's happening, and how you can possibly qualify for the Pokemon World Championships. My name is Rahul Reddy, and I've qualified for 8 years in a row, and today we're going to be jumping right into the new information. I've looked at it a little bit, so I know a little bit of what's going on, but I didn't read too much into it. Let's jump right into it. Now, the season for 2026 begins on July 1st officially. So if you guys are playing a league challenge, league cup, whatever, July 1st is the day where we're kicking us off. And it starts off here with the first announcement. Pokemon Championship Series points earning events are on break in June to give competitors time to rest. June is only a week left. In 2026, the season begins in July 1st, meaning if you go to league challenges, league cups, starting on July 1st, the championship points will accrue towards the World Championships moving forward. Now, this is a huge announcement here, adjusting Swiss rounds. After analyzing data from the 2025 season and taking trainer feedback into consideration, the Swiss format used for the TCG and VGC regional championships, IC, specials, and worlds will undergo a variety of changes. All age divisions at these tournaments, if they have 65 participants, will have at least one additional round of Swiss pairings. Meaning, from my interpretation, the 8 rounds of Swiss we had day one will become 9 rounds. Or this round will get tacked on a day two, whatever. But it makes it more likely that players that have a X and 2 record like 908172 will have a better chance at asymmetrical top 8. This additional Swiss round will also improve tournament experience for competitors that vie for the top cut placements and cash prizes in the final matches of Swiss Phase 2. Now, it's unclear whether or not this extra round is being added to day 1 or day 2, but Swiss Phase 1 will feature 8 additional, or will usually feature 8 Swiss tournament rounds, with rounds scheduled to conclude on day 1 or day 2. So by that, I feel like it is implying heavily that day 2 will have these additional Swiss rounds. That being said, if you look at my season this season, that additional round would have helped me quite a bit. In an effort to smooth out tournament proceedings, asymmetrical top 8 will be now capped at 16 participants, compared to 32 from the 2025 season, regardless of the number of competitors tied with the 8th place competitor. Tournament results and community feedback pertaining to this change will continue to be closely monitored. This isn't really that relevant for us in the TCG sphere, but it is very, very relevant for players in the VGC sphere, because I believe their top cuts have gone all the way down to like 26, 27 prior. But for TCG, we've never had more than like 15. My phone is exploding right now. You guys can also assume how crazy it is right now. It's been minutes since this has been announced. Pokemon TCG end of round rule change. During the 2025 season, when time was called in a round, competitor has +3 turns to conclude their active game. If the game did not resolve in those turns, the game was declared a draw and the match concluded accordingly. For example, if one competitor was ahead 1-0, they were awarded a match win, but if the game score was 1-0 or 0-0, the match was a tie. This end of round procedure creates complicated situations for event operations since the +3 turns of a phase technically has no time limit. It's been observed that competitors play differently during overtime and stretch out their turns, making round turnover unpredictable and significantly extending round times. Makes sense to me. Sometimes the +3 does take quite a while, especially in the later rounds. We've concluded that the overtime procedure is not achieving its intended goal, with a significant percentage of matches still resulting in a draw after +3 turns. To mitigate these unintended complications, we are implementing the following rules. After time is called in a round, competitors have an additional full turn +1 to complete their match. So I guess what this means is basically just like whoever turn time is called on is like 0, and then there will be 1 turn, like in Japan, I think. I don't. So okay, it says right here. Sorry, the active competitor will complete their turn. Their opponent will then complete their turn, and if no winner is determined by the point, the game is a draw. So it isn't like the player who went second gets 1 additional turn. It's just that there is going to be 1 additional turn given. So if time is called on your turn at turn 0, the game that is all you have. That's all you can do in that given turn. An overtime clock of 10 minutes is then instituted for this additional turn. And if play does not conclude within the allotted time, the game is a draw. The overtime clock is intentionally long compared to average turn length. They hope that this clause will only trigger in extreme situations where slow play penalties may also be considered and applied when appropriate. This is actually going to speed up the game quite a bit because +3 does take a long time. However, I think it'll be very dynamic because right now games don't actually conclude. A lot of my games at NAIC, for example, concluded on turn 3 of time, or time I needed like the full 3 turns. So this may result in a lot more ties or a lot more gentlemen's occurring. But I am very, very fascinated to see what happens with this, the scope of this. But we're basically going to like what Japan is doing, except rather than the player who is going second being the end all be all, just both players will get 1 full turn of play once time is called. Championship point table adjustments have been made. Slight tweaks to championship points and kickers for grand challenges, league challenges, regional special information. They're so it's not relevant to us. League challenge kickers have been adjusted to reflect attendance, and more championship points have allotted to 9th through 64th. Now, the jump from 8th to 9th was like completely like criminal. Is probably the best way to put it. It was like a difference between like 300 points and like 160, which is like absurd. So like getting into ASIM and losing was just like effectively losing your invite. So this is very cool that they made this change. I haven't seen the points yet. I assume I can get to it later in this window. Go is not relevant for us. Ace Trainer program returns. If you guys are competing for those Ace Trainer rewards with 200 championship points, you'll probably get this Ace Trainer promo somewhere down the line. Hopefully this is something you guys are all competing for, even if you're not competing for a Pokemon World Championship invite down the line. But yeah. Pokemon Unite, going to be at regionals, it looks like. Regional league debut, cool. And then there is the regional and special championships season schedule. Let's open this up here. It looks like that's all that is. Dates and locations subject to change. There's probably going to be more that are introduced. I assume they give us a couple here. ICs, it looks like, once again, we're going to Sao Paulo in November, UIC in February, and then the North American International Championships will be in Louisiana. Like, same old for those. Let me see if I can pull up, while I pull up the regional schedule for you guys, let me see if I can pull up the, if there's anything about points here, because I don't see anything about points. Yeah, I don't see anything about points or the breakdown just yet if I'm missing something. But it looks like the first set of regionals will take us to Frankfurt, Germany to kick off the season, and Monterrey, Mexico on the same weekend. I guess if you click here, you can see event details. Can I see championship points overview? Best finish limits. This is just the glossary. We have the World Championship qualification as well on this page. I saw that number immediately. We're gonna look at the regionals first before we look at it in depth. This is a crazy. There's an increase. We did get an increase in invites to the Masters bar. It looks like in general. Where the championship points down here. I guess I have to click through all of this. There's so much to look at, actually. Let's just go through it. Frankfurt and Montreal will kick off our season. Pittsburgh will be the first one in North America for us. We'll go to Milwaukee shortly after. Belo Horizonte in Brazil right after, or same weekend as Milwaukee here. Lille in October, once again. Gdansk in Europe. Las Vegas, Nevada, a very exciting West Coast regionals in November. Buenos Aires, Latin America International here, Stuttgart in Germany. We'll go to Birmingham in January, Merida in January as well. Auckland Pokemon Special Event in New Zealand, Santiago, Chile, UIC, Sevilla, Querétaro in Mexico, and then Utrecht and Lima. So a lot of stuff is already announced. A couple of special events already on the docket. A majority of the LATAM regionals look like they're already on the docket as well. The European schedule looks like it's almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So most of the European schedule looks like it is announced already. 1, 2, 3, just 3 North American regionals are announced here, but it looks like none of the Australian regionals are announced as well. You can see here, you can filter by region. You can see that we have North America here, Europe here as well. All these good stuff is here. Oceania, nothing really announced yet. And then if you look at the championship point overview, sorry, I'm like really excited. This is very overwhelming for me as well, just like it is for you guys. So I'm trying to make heads and tails of it as we go. Best finish limit, you can see the points you've accumulated. Let's see if this says this just takes us to the world's page. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. The invites, it did bump us up 10 invites, which is really nice. I think seniors getting more invites across the board is really good. Looks like it got easier to go to world's invite than harder. A lot of people were really scared that it's gonna be harder. Looks like 5 more invites or 10 more invites are given across the board to all of us. Oceania is still stuck in there a little bit of a kicker. What's new in 2026? We just came from this page actually. Let's see if these actually give us something. League Challenge, League Cups. Information. Looks like there's a kicker for the challenges. More points can be awarded down the line. The best finish limit for challenges and cups is 4. Once again for the year, which is pretty reasonable. League cups are 50 points once again, very reasonable. Let's take a look at the regional and special events here. Okay, we're just scrolling here. It looks like the cash pricing and everything is still the same. I didn't expect this to really change. This was a pretty big change that we just had already. Looks like, yeah, look, the drop off to 16 is way better here. It's an 80-point discrepancy as opposed to a ridiculous, like this was the drop earlier, which is now much better. So players who are shooting for a world championship invite, a couple of top 32s should put you in a really good spot. A couple of top 64s will put you in a really good spot. The booster pack breakdown is still similar to what it used to be. Yeah, pretty good payout for boxes still. Nothing too crazy. Let's take a look at the international championships here. Um, Everything looks pretty similar to me. The championship point kicker. Again, this has been amended a little bit, which is really nice that they've done this. BFL 5, I think, is to be noted. And then there's the booster packs here, and then the World Championships. Finally, this just takes us to 2025. But that's, I think, everything for the season. I hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys are ready to go. Let me know in the comments if you're ready to rock and roll. It should be fast. A lot of information. Have fun. See you guys in a bit. Peace.